Nutrition in plants. This is the first chapter of 7th standard, and we are going to learn about nutrition, the main modes of nutrition, the process of photosynthesis, and some other modes of nutrition in plants. In order to understand these modes of nutrition, we need to know what are these nutrients. Nutrients are basically components of our food like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals. All of these are essential for our body to function properly. We get energy from them to do various metabolic reactions. They help us to grow, to repair any damaged parts, and to build our bodies. So there are two main modes of nutrition. One is autotrophic nutrition, the other is heterotrophic nutrition. What is an autotroph? An autotroph is an organism which is able to make its own food. For example, plant is able to make its own food. So it is called an autotroph. And this mode of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition. The other form of nutrition is heterotrophic. So what is a heterotroph? Heterotroph is basically an organism which is dependent on plant for its food. This mode of nutrition where the organism takes ready-made food prepared by the plant is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So how are these plants able to make their own food? They are able to make their own food because they can do photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis essentially means using light energy to make something, to put together something. So plants use light energy to make food. Plants use light, carbon dioxide, and water to make glucose and oxygen. Plants have chlorophyll in their chloroplast. That's why they are using this light and making glucose. Leaves are where these chloroplasts are located. So leaves are called food factories of the plants. As we learned earlier that water is essential for photosynthesis. So water is absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves because leaves is where the photosynthesis reaction is occurring. So this is where it needs to go. There are pipe-like structures in plants called xylem vessels which help the plant to get this water to the leaf. Plant also needs CO2, carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So it is getting the CO2 from air. Plants have stomata. These are pores in the plants. There are two guard cells which have a hole in between. This is what is called a stomata. This stomata helps the plant to take in the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which is required for photosynthesis. So as I told you, plants have chlorophyll. Only that's why they are able to do photosynthesis. So the equation of photosynthesis will be CO2, that is carbon dioxide, plus water, H2O, gives us glucose, which is a sugar, C6H12O6, and oxygen, O2, is released during this process, right? So what happened during photosynthesis? The leaf, which had chlorophyll inside the chloroplast, captured the light energy. It used CO2 from the air, water from the roots to make sugar, that is glucose, and oxygen. We can test for this because the carbohydrate which is made in the plant, that is glucose, is converted into starch. So if starch is present in the leaf, that means the leaf has done photosynthesis. We can test for the presence of starch by doing a simple test called iodine test. So if we put iodine of the leaf, then if the starch is present, the color of the leaf changes to this bluish black color. This way we know that the plant is doing photosynthesis. There are water plants like algae. They also can do photosynthesis. Why can they do photosynthesis? Because they have chlorophyll inside them. You might have seen algae in ponds, in some small patches, small green patches which are present in ponds. So these are called algae. There are some other modes of nutrition also apart from autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Let us learn about them. So some plants like humans and animals are not able to do photosynthesis. They are also dependent on other plants for their food. This mode of nutrition is heterotrophic. So the plant on which it climbs is called the host. This creeper is climbing on a plant. This plant on which it is climbing is the host. This deprives the host of valuable nutrients. So this is a parasite. This mode of nutrition is called parasitic nutrition. An example of this would be Cuscata. So they are dependent on host for their nutrition. The other type is insectivorous plants. What happens in this insect eating or insectivorous plant is the leaf of the plant is basically in form of a pitcher. So as soon as an insect enters here, the leaf closes, and this is how it gets its nutrition. So the leaf is eating and digesting this insect using the digestive juices which are present in this plant. The other mode of nutrition is saprotrophic nutrition. What happens in this saprotrophic mode is that the saprotrophs which are present, that is saprotrophs like fungi, they secrete digestive juices on dead or decaying matter, and using these juices they get their nutrition. So this mode of nutrition where organisms like fungi get their nutrition from the dead or decaying matter is called saprotrophic nutrition. The other form is symbiosis. Symbiosis is a relationship which is beneficial to both the organisms. So symbiotic organisms, they live together, they share shelter, they share nutrients, and they benefit each other. Like certain fungi. Fungi can have both form of nutrition, saprophytic as well as symbiotic. These fungi, they live in the root of the trees. The tree provides the fungi with the nutrients, and in return, it receives help from it to take up the water and the nutrients which are required for its survival. So it is beneficial to both the fungus as well as the tree. So this form of nutrition is called symbiotic nutrition. Now, once these nutrients are used up, how are they replenished? So these are replenished using manures and fertilizers. These manures and fertilizers, they contain nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and other minerals. These are added by farmers from time to time. In this way, the replenishment of nutrition in soil takes place. Plants need nitrogen for their survival. So how do these plants obtain this nitrogen? One thing that we need to understand is the plants can only use nitrogen in soluble form, right? So they cannot use nitrogen which is present in the air around them. So in order to convert this nitrogen into soluble form, there is a bacterium called rhizobium. Rhizobium basically takes the atmospheric nitrogen and converts it into a soluble form which can be used by the plants. Okay, so this way the rhizobium is helping the plant. This rhizobium is not able to make its own food, but it is helping the plants by living in its roots. It is found generally in the roots of leguminous plants. So this is also an example of symbiotic relationship, because your rhizobium is converting the nitrogen into soluble form, and it is helping the plant to get the nitrogen, and the rhizobium in turn is getting its food from this plant. I hope you all understood various modes of nutrition in plants.